Now, one of the questions that is already being raised is how much of this devastation could have been avoided. Sure, it is nature's hand at play here, but has the scale of the disaster been compounded by man-made factors, rampant unchecked construction, lack of urban planning, unabated expansion of hydropower projects, and construction of roads to accommodate the ever-increasing tourism, especially religious tourism? In 2012, the centre had declared the 100-kilometre stretch between Gangotri and Uttarkashi as an eco-sensitive zone, but the state government has opposed this, saying it was against the interests of the people. Here's a report. Now, while the devastation that we're seeing in Uttarakhand is a natural disaster with unprecedented rainfall in the hills, we've seen cloudbursts like in Kedarnath. A lot of the damage has been compounded by man. It's man-made, as several rules have been flouted down the years by the towns that are there along the rivers in Uttarakhand. Now, the Uttarakhand Chief Minister today has had to answer questions on why his government had resisted a central notification which declared that a key area between Uttarkashi and Gangotri as an eco-sensitive zone. Vijay Bhogna, along with several state leaders, had even met with the Prime Minister in May and given him a letter opposing this notification by the Ministry of Environment and Forests. In December, now just to take you back to the issue, now in December 2012, the centre had declared that the 100-kilometre stretch between Gangotri to Uttarkashi as environmentally fragile. This means that no development work could be carried out here. The entire area is the catchment area of the Bhagirathi River, which remember starts from Gangotri and goes on to Uttarkashi to finally meet Alaknanda and form the Ganga later. But this area was considered extremely fragile environmentally, and several rules would come into effect with this notification. Now, the Chief Minister, in his letter, which he gave to the Prime Minister in May 2013, asked the centre to rethink about this notification, to take back this move, as it was opposed by the locals in this area. They felt that this would then rob them of development. Now, there are 88 villages that fall in this stretch from Uttarkashi to Gangotri, and there was huge pressure on the state government to take it up with the centre. There was a feeling that it's people sitting in Delhi who are taking these huge decisions without really understanding the ground realities, the needs of the people. The Chief Minister in his letter also spoke about how this work would affect tourism, as the Char Dham Yatra to Gangotri is extremely popular. That is the Yatra that's on currently. June is the big month for the Yatra. Now, the Chief Minister also pointed out in that letter that the ban would affect road building. The notification would have brought a ban on road building, and this would impact national security. The Chief Minister is saying this region is near China. There are many army establishments that require better connectivity. In fact, there was a demand to widen the roads here and also build new ones, as it's difficult to get supplies to the Jawans who are posted on the border area with China. And it's not just the Congress government that's been in power for less than a year that has been resisting this. Before this, even the BJP government was opposed to this notification. In fact, Chief Minister Nishank had written to the Environment Minister. The Assembly, cutting across party lines, the BJP and Congress both had passed a resolution in 2011 against the centre's proposed notification. But do remember that the eco-sensitive zone is just a small part of the entire area that's just between Gangotri and Uttarkashi. However, you also have Srinagar and the entire Alaknanda Valley, the Mandakini River area that has been affected as well. Also, the buildings have been allowed to be built with impunity in these areas. We've seen those buildings as falling right on the river's edge. A lot of them are illegal encroachments that have taken place, which authorities have clearly turned a blind eye to. In fact, in 2002, there was a law brought in that banned buildings within 100 meters of the two rivers affected, that is the Bhagirathi and the Alaknanda. But we've seen how many guest houses and hotels have been built right next to the rivers. But policy aside, again, we must emphasize here that these are extraordinary circumstances. The rain, the monsoon, of course, has struck 2 weeks early, and it was 450% above normal for this period. The river water has reached places that have never before been seen. And also, lastly, since dams is a big controversial issue, the Tehri Dam on the Bhagirathi has in fact held back a lot of the water in its reservoir. The levels of the reservoir have risen by 21 meters, and this water otherwise would have flowed downstream towards Rishikesh and Haridwar.